Okay, cool.
Alright, so we back on YouTube Live. This is episode 10. We got a special guest in the building. He goes by KC Supreme.
I know you gonna
Yo,
dig
what's up?
this.
KC, what's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Just chilling right now.
How's your 2019 been so far?
It's been good so far, man. Just a lot of work. Putting a lot of work in.
Man, we got a platinum producer on the line right now. That's what's up. Putting a lot of work in. Yo, so KC, for a lot of producers know who you are, know who you down with, but for some of the people that don't really know, just let them know where you from, how long you been making beats, and what really got you into music.
Okay, cool. So I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I've been making beats for like 10 years. But I'd say like the first 5 years, it was just like a hobby. I was doing it for fun. I wasn't really like taking it serious, anything like that. I was just kind of just doing it for fun. And then I'd say like the last 5 years have been like a career, you know what I mean? Like actually making money from it, taking it seriously, treating it like a job. But those first 5 years are just like experience, I was just racking up experience. I was putting in my 10,000 hours. I was making shitty beats before I could make good beats, stuff like that.
Right.
And what got me into music was just my family's really music oriented. So like we had kind of like a band we played, like my family would play together in. Not like a serious band, but just like for fun, like we jam, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's dope,
and,
man.
Yeah, so I kind of grew up in that atmosphere. It was more like, like classic rock or like older stuff like that my dad liked to play. But still, it got me playing piano. So that kind of built the foundation for being a producer.
Oh.
And then, when I was older, I just decided like, I want to try to do a career in this. And I tried to be an audio engineer for a while, but then I just decided, nah, that's not for me. I just got to be a producer. That's it. You know what I mean?
Right. So
yeah.
So Casey, what did you use to make your beats and all that? You still use the same program to this day?
Yep, I started on FL Studio.
Shout out to FL, man.
Yeah, facts. I started on FL Studio, just like I said, just messing around with it, not really knowing what I was doing. But I liked the look of it. Like I thought it looked cool. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And I saw other people using it that I looked up to, obviously. So yeah, I started on that, and I'm still on it, man. I'm on the latest version now. I never went to Ableton or anything like that. Just strictly FL Studio.
Just stay loyal.
Yeah.
That's what's up,
Need
bro.
that sponsorship,
Yeah. So KC, did you like work with a lot of artists out there while you was, making beats, like coming up? Was there any artists you was working in your area?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the first things I did was I applied for like internships at recording studios like in my area because I wanted to be an engineer first. I was still making beats, but I was trying to like make that my career. So I got a job at a studio, and just from my clients that I was engineering, I would sell them beats. And so I worked with a lot of local artists, giving them beats and also engineering them at the same time. So yeah, I worked with tons of artists out here.
Nice.
Sure.
Oh, nice. So Casey, what would you say is you got a couple placements out there, but what would you say is your biggest placement to date now?
It'd probably be the Rich the Kid placement. I produced Small Things. I co-produced it with LabCook
I know
and
you gonna dig this.
And that was on his album, and that's just what went platinum, the album. So that's my first platinum plaque right there. So I'd say that's my biggest placement for sure.
Right. So can you talk about like how that record came about? You said you produced it with LabCook.
Yep, the
Nice.
LabCook. He works really close with Rich the Kid. We had just talked on Twitter. We'd send a few collabs back and forth, and just sent melodies and stuff like that back and forth, and just chopped up a little bit. And then he just hit me one day, and he was like, "Yo, we got one with Rich the Kid," and Bryson Tiller was supposed to be on it, but they ended up taking him off before it dropped. So it probably would have been a bigger song than it was.
Damn, they should
Yeah,
at
just
least
off-
came out with the remix. And threw 'em
Yeah,
on
they
there.
actually got a remix with Future on it. I don't know when that's gonna drop, but that was on Rich the Kid's story just randomly. I was like, I don't know. So there might be a future remix coming out.
Oh no, that's dope. So KC, was that your first placement or no, right?
No, it wasn't my first. I gotten a few little placements here and there before that, but I'd say it's definitely my biggest, and it was in 2018, so it was one of my first placements, but not like the very first.
Got it. So do you use like any like MIDI controllers or any like other gear with FL, or you just use like FL and the mouse?
I use a MIDI controller. I got the Akai Advanced 49. A lot of producers have that. I got that too. I feel like there's not too many MIDI controllers out there right now that excite me, so I'm just kind of stuck with this. Okay. And I tried the FL Studio controller they came out with that Akai made also. It's called the Fire.
Right. I seen that joint. Yeah, how you like that joint right there?
I mean, it's fire. I love it, but it's like I never use it. It's just kind of like it's faster for me to do it with my keyboard and mouse, so it just kind of ends up not being used that much. So, but it's fire. Like the things it can do are cool. Like I mess with it. It's just my workflow doesn't really include it too often. You know what I mean?
Right. Got you, bro. So KC, what made you start uploading beats on YouTube? And you know what I'm saying, I see you got a BeatStars page right now too. What made you just start uploading your stuff online and putting yourself out there?
Well, 10 years ago when I first started making beats, producers like Superstar O and Johnny Giuliano were big online, and that's what first kind of piqued my interest, because they were making hella money. They had pictures of them with jewelry, and they had pictures of them with nice clothes and cars and all that stuff. So that kind of made me realize, like, damn, like you really can make some money off this. So that was the early days. My beats weren't really good enough to sell then. So then later on, around 2014, 2013, that's when like Taz Taylor, the Beat Plug, MJ Nichols, they were like the top 3 online. And so around that time, I was like, okay, my beats have gotten a lot better. It's time for me to start trying to sell beats online again. Because I tried it before in the past, but it just failed, you know what I mean? So I rebranded, and that's when I gave myself the name KC Supreme, and just started putting beats on BeatStars, and it was my Flash store back then. Now it's Airbit. And, I've had a pretty good couple years selling beats online. Nothing crazy, but I was making some bread off it. But then once I met Taz and I became part of Internet Money, that was right around the time when we kind of made the jump to the industry. So now I still have my beats online, but I don't really actively pursue trying to sell beats online. I just kind of let it happen now, but I don't really push for it that much. It's not really my focus anymore.
Right. So. Got you, bro. So let's talk about that. So you're down with Internet Money. So how did you meet Taz, and what made you want to, be a part of, Internet Money, and how has that helped you, as a producer?
Right. So I met Taz December 2016, and I have followed him online on YouTube. Like I said before, he's making beats, making money. I was kind of keeping an eye on him, following him, and that whole movement. And he went out to LA in December 2016 to speak at a seminar for BeatStars. And so I was like, shit, I'm going to go and listen to what he has to say, because he knows what he's doing. So I booked the trip and stuff, and he was like, I talked to him on Twitter a few times, just random. He was like, you know what, you seem cool. Like, we need one more person for our Airbnb. We need one more person to go in on it for this trip to LA. I was like, shit, okay. I was kind of nervous because I didn't know anybody out there. I'd never been to LA. And I was just going to be staying in a house with like 3 strangers. You know what I mean? It was Taz, and it was the Martians. He was there. And, but so I just did it. Like, I just went. And then when we met, me and Taz, we just like got along really well. And we just kind of like clicked like that. You know what I mean? So after that trip, he put me on the team. And then we did a whole producer tour from there. And we did we went to each city and we taught producers like how to sell beats online. We taught them how to make beats and stuff like that. So that was when I was on the internet still. Then when we jumped to the industry, then, you know, everything changed. So now it's just like so many opportunities I've gotten just through Taz, through internet money. You know, when he goes to a studio session with PNB Rock, for example, you know, he hits the whole team and he says, yo, we need beats for PNB Rock tonight. The whole team makes beats, we submit them, and he goes in the studio and he plays all our beats. Or, you know, if we're all there, we go in the studio all together and we play all our beats. And so many opportunities have come from that to build my name up, to get on my placements and stuff like that. So it's just been my whole career, you know.
Nah, that's definitely dope, man. I feel like, you know, Taz is definitely one of the first. I think he might be the first who just turned this like internet, you know, producing and selling beats online to the next level. And I feel like you guys are really, you know, build like an empire, man. And that's the smartest thing that, you know, producers can do. And, you know, networking, and I'm pretty sure y'all all collabing on beats now. And how does that work with, you know, I think I seen a couple videos with you guys in the house, and you know, everybody's just cooking up in different rooms. That shit just looks crazy. So
yeah, definitely.
What's those sessions like? Do y'all just all pull out your laptops, just, I mean, bang out, plug up, whatever? Y'all just go crazy?
Yeah, man, definitely. Like when we're out in LA and we're all in the house, you know, same kind of thing. He'll be like, yo, we got this session with so-and-so tonight. We're all got our laptops out, or we got computers, and we're just cooking up beats all day, collaborating. You know, someone starts a melody, someone finishes the drums, and we just like collaborate with each other. And that's another thing. Like even when we're not in LA, we have a drum kit website, like a loop kit website called Wavsupply, and it's like all our kits from our internet money members, all our kits combined that we sell. And so between members, like we just use each other loops heavy, just like collabs, you know what I mean? Like we just are always collabing even if we're not together. So we just kind of like have an infinite source of like inspiration and melodies and loops that come from within our group. And then, you know, it's just a collaboration at the end of the day. When it comes out, it's just produced by both people. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's dope. You know what? I just thought about that. So yeah, I wanted to ask you that as well. So what made you want to, you know, put like kits out on Wavsupply?
So I actually helped start Wavsupply with Taz and Nick Mira. Shortly after I was in the group, they had a different drum site that they had with some other people. It was called like Drum Connect, or Drum Select. It was Drum Select, and that's kind of what the platform was. But then Taz had a falling out with the other person who owned it, so the site was gone. And so me, Taz, and Nick Mira, we kind of created the concept of Wavsupply. Me, Nick, and Taz built the whole site. I run like uploading kits, dropping kits. I do all the customer service. So I was a big part in that. So, you know, it's a good platform to make money off of as a side income as a producer, to make kits. You know, a lot of producers do it for sure, but now we have one of the biggest platforms. So it's like, it's a no-brainer to utilize the platform. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So let me get this right. So if you down with internet money, so basically each individual has like all the drum kits that's on Wavsupply, and then y'all just go through each other's loops and just cook up all day?
Yeah, so we kind of have like it's a Dropbox where we put all our beats, all our kits, everything like that, and all of us have access to it. So every new kit that drops on Wavsupply also goes into that internal kind of Dropbox database, and we all just have access to it. You know what I mean? So everybody who drops a loop kit, I have those free, obviously, and then I use those into collaboration. So yeah, definitely.
That's dope. So Casey, do you look out there for like, do you purchase any drum kits out there, or you just rock with the drum kits y'all really got on your site, or do you like purchase other kits out there?
No, I definitely purchase other kits. Like, you know, certain people make fire kits and I still support them, and I know what it feels like to have my kits purchased and supported and like not pirated, not leaked. So, you know, I definitely make an effort to repay that and pay for kits that I think are dope and stuff like that. So Yeah, I'm buying other people's kits too, but we just have so many sounds, bro. Just like from each other. Like we
Bro,
have so many drum kits. It's
I
just endless.
I have a couple drum kits. I definitely do have a couple kits I copped from Wavsupply a while back. But yo, you guys have
Yeah.
it's loaded. It's loaded. It's loaded in there. So KC, if you could say, what's your top dog VSTs that you're using in 2019?
Okay. Omnisphere is number one. I feel like a lot of people will agree with that. I really like Electra 2 or Electra X, same thing. And my third one, probably, that's tough. Probably Keyscape, even though that's kind of bundled in with Omnisphere.
Yeah, shout out to Keyscape.
But yeah, honorable mentions. There's this new effects VST. It's called RC Color, RC20 Retro Color, something like that.
Okay,
That shit's dope.
Yeah, I think I seen a producer on there using that.
Yeah,
I think it was T minus probably.
Yep. Back.
Where, so KC, do you sample a lot or do you mainly make like non-sample type beats? And what do you feel about, sampling and non-sampling?
I don't really sample per se, as in like taking an old song and reflipping it that much. That's never really been my production style, but I've done it a few times. But loops are kind of the same thing as samples. So like, it's kind of like sampling somebody if you use their loop in a way. It's just cleared different. But as far as using loops, there's a lot of debate between loops and midis and if you should use them, if it's cheating, and it kind of gets lumped in with sampling. It's kind of the same concept, like.
Right.
But really, you should treat it just like sampling, because it's just this instant inspiration. There's no bad thing about using a loop or a MIDI. Like, people are just afraid to give credit where credit's due and like cut a piece of the pie with the people they use the loop from. That's the biggest problem. People want to use loops, but then they don't want to give credit to the loop creator. So anyway, I feel like using loops and midis and samples and whatever tools you want to use to produce is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no rules to this shit. Make whatever makes the song the best it can be, and don't trip over little percents or little things like that, because you got to keep focusing on the next shit that's coming out. So definitely I support using loops, midis, and samples and all that. The only thing about samples is the clearance, like actual samples, like sampling an old song. The clearance can kill you. You might get a placement with a sample and they can't clear it, and then the song can't come out. You know what I mean?
Right. Got you. So Casey, so what do you do when like you working on a beat and you just like hit a creative block where you just like can't come up with nothing crazy? Do you just fight through that, or do you do something else and get back to it, or how does that work?
Honestly, I do both. It just depends. I feel like every time I've ever gone through like beat block, it lasts like a week. It's not just like a day. I feel like you just kind of go through like a weird period of time where you just can't make anything. And so, I'll still try to make things every once in a while, but mostly I just like go do something else. Like I'll do something else for a week. There's other things I can do for my job. It's not just making beats, you know what I mean? So I definitely don't push it. And then all of a sudden, one day I'll go to make a beat and it's just, I'm out of it. I can make 10 beats right there that all are fire. So it just kind of comes in waves. So I feel like definitely you shouldn't like force it. There's nothing wrong with still making beats. Just realize you're in that like funk, and then realize you're also gonna come out of it. You always come out of it.
So what's KC been listening to, man, so far? Like, what new projects you been bumping, bro? What new albums?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. We have our own artists and Internet Money. I've been listening to one of our artists' music like nonstop lately. I fuck with it that much. I'm not saying that because he's our artist, but other than that, I feel like Offset's new album was fire. Gunna's new album was pretty fire. But yeah, Trevor Daniel, he's an artist. I just been listening to his stuff that he's been making just like all the time. So that's when you know it's good music. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, that's dope. So you said that's a new artist.
Yeah, so he signed to Internet Money. He's been signed for I'd say like 6 months or something like that. He dropped one EP that we all produce in internet in in Internet Money. Yeah, that fire is called Homesick by Trevor Daniel.
Homesick.
It's out now, and then we're about to Homesick. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the name of the album, Trevor Daniel. But yeah, he's really fire, man. Like getting to work with him is dope. He's really talented, and then when the songs come out, like I just got him on repeat. I fuck with him that much.
Oh, that's what's up. I'm gonna definitely check him out. Yo, where's he from?
Yeah, dude. He's from Houston.
Okay, shout out to Houston, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's dope. We're about to drop his next EP in April.
Nice.
And yeah, definitely check that out because it's gonna be fire. Way better than the first one, that's for sure.
Oh, that's dope, bro. That's dope.
Yeah.
So Casey, do you watch any like tutorials online on YouTube, or do you just look up?
I used to a lot, like a ton, heavy, when I previous years. Recently, not so much, just because I make tutorials now, so it's like I feel like now I've become the teacher. Before I was a student, now I'm the teacher. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, we have a YouTube channel for Internet Money too, and we do tutorials, we do cook-ups, we do all that stuff. And also we stream on Twitch now. Like I've been streaming on Twitch heavy. So I kind of do like live tutorials, you could say, in a way. But I watch the other members' tutorials and see what they have to say, and watch their cook-ups and stuff like that. But as far as like going to YouTube and watching like other people, not really anymore. I haven't done that in a while. So.
Got you. So Casey, I'm gonna ask you like this one more question. So what's your best advice for like any upcoming producer that really wants to get out there and be in position like you to create platinum records, to collab with different producers? Like what's your best advice that you will give a producer, and what would you tell them not to do when starting off?
Okay, so I tell a new producer, like, realize you're gonna make shitty beats at first. Like your beats aren't gonna be great right away. You gotta put in your 10,000 hours. So I would tell them, just keep making beats. Just keep making beats. Don't put them out. Don't do anything with them. Just spend like legit a year or 2 years just making beats, bro, and just honing in on your craft. And then you can start putting out beats online. Then you can make a BeatStars account. Then you can sell beats. Then you just got to be consistent. That's what I would tell them. I would say, if you're going to sell beats online, drop a beat every day or every other day. Never miss it. Set a schedule. Like, just be consistent. And just, yeah. And then after a while, people are going to start recognizing you for what you do. People are going to start following you and recognizing that you make good music. And then from there, opportunities are just going to come to you. You know what I mean? That's how it all happens. You can't force it. And right now, I'm 28 years old right now. And I started making beats when I was 18 years old. And shit ain't really happened for me until I was about 25, 24. You know what I mean? So it's like, exactly. And it's like, I could have gave up when I was 23. You know what I mean? But I didn't. I just kept going. Even though shit wasn't happening for me, I still kept going. And that's the most important part. Right. You can't quit, bro. Because you could turn 35 and that's when your break happens. And you've been making beats for 20 years. You never know. Because you just got to keep going. That's what I would say. Just never quit. Just keep making beats. And stop comparing yourself to other producers thinking like you should be where they're at. Nah, not at all. Because everyone's journey is different, bro. So just keep putting in hard work. And the rest will come,
You just dropped some crazy jewels right there, bro. And I also feel with like your story, like how you said you took that trip out there to go see, Taz, and you made the sacrifice to try to network, and at first you didn't really want to, you was iffy about going to the house and meeting strangers, but I feel like that's another thing, like, it's very important. Producers got to get out there, just network, try to meet people, and just keep networking. I feel like that's one major key right there. because you never know what could happen to you. You know, but that's
Exactly, man. Like anxiety kills a lot of people that way because they psych themselves out and they talk themselves out of going and doing opportunities. Whereas if they just would have showed up, you never know who you're gonna meet, what's gonna happen. So it's like if it makes you a little nervous, sometimes that's good. Like that's a good sign. That means you're doing something right. That means you're out of your comfort zone. And that's what it takes, bro. You got to be out of your comfort zone. And people just like to stay in their little, literally comfort zone and not leave it. But you got to, man. You got to get out there.
right. I mean, y'all heard it first, man. KC's dropping jewels. I hope y'all tuning in, y'all listening, man. You know what, KC? I appreciate your time, bro. Thanks for being on the show. You know, shout out to Internet Money one time. I mean, y'all definitely taking over. Y'all doing your thing. You know, any last words you want to say before we get out of here, KC?
Yeah, bro. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for reaching out. I'm glad I got to do it. Last thing I want to say, make sure y'all tune in on my Twitch because I make beats on there every day. I stream for a few hours. I give away kits. I give away knowledge. And you can watch me cook up some beats. So KC Supreme Beats is my name on Twitch. So that's what I encourage you to go check out.
Definitely.
That's what I'm plugging.
Okay, definitely. So y'all heard him. Go follow KC Supreme. Stay in tune. Check out the drum kits. If you're a producer, make sure you're on wavsupply, getting your drums right, and stay in tune, man. Yo, KC, thanks a lot, bro.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you too, bro. Peace out. Good looking, bro.
All right, bro. Later.
So there you go. We just had KC Supreme on the line from Internet Money. Make sure y'all check him out. Follow him. Check out their new artists. Check out his wavsupply pages. They dropping fire kits. Shout out to Taz Taylor. Shout out to the whole Internet Money. And we out of here, man. You know how we do it. Be back. I'm gone. Peace.